fucking played really well until he was in his like late 70s or whatever, and then he fucking started to tail off, right? Like musicians, like, and like there's something else though that I did, and that was like just pure athleticism. And where I was going to, I never made it to the state tournament, was in Coupeville. I had a kid who, like, he was a baseball prodigy, and he did not play a fall sport. He didn't play football because he played baseball and basketball. And I saw him in ninth grade. He was in the gym, and he was throwing a tennis ball like I've never seen before. He was standing in one corner of this big high school gym with all the bleachers pulled back. So it's like a warehouse. And he's in one corner, and effortlessly, he's just standing there, and he just fucking shoulder, wrist, elbow fucking thing. And this tennis ball, which is really hard to throw because it's light. Like a baseball, you can really throw hard, and it really travels through the air because it's smooth and there's no fuzz to slow it down, and it's heavier, so there's more mass. But a tennis ball is really fucking hard to throw, and he just effortlessly and the ball just goes, it moves like it's a frozen rope. It's just like that. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I've never, like, that dude throws like a fucking major league baseball player or something. And I was like, he's gotta play tennis. And then the other kid is standing in the other corner of the gym, and he's standing there and just goes, like, the guy throws it to his catching hand, because you catch a ball with your opposite hand like you would in baseball. And I was just like, holy fuck. And then the other kid like has to take 3 or 4 steps, running start, and he throws the tennis ball, and then in one motion he catches it and does the arm flip thing, and it does the exact same thing, and the kid just goes and catches it, and I'm like, I gotta get this guy. And so I'm like, you're Ben. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, when you play tennis? And he's like, maybe next year. And I was like, fuck. He's like, go out and play. And I was like, you're gonna be really good if you play tennis. And I was like, you won't get hurt. It's good. Baseball players play tennis. And I was like, you could totally do this. 10th grade, doesn't come out. 11th grade, he comes out, and he's played tennis. He's like, I've played tennis like 6 or 7 times in my life. I'm like, okay. And by the end of the first day of practice, I have taught him like my service motion, and he's got the motion down. Like, he's got like all the basics down. Like, he's ready for like little fucking fine tunes. And I was like, wow. And he was serving the ball like 90 miles an hour. He was missing, but it was close. Like, he was getting them in like 1 out of every 10 times or something. But he was like close, and he had the motion down. And I was like, I'm like, was it 2014? I'm like 43 years old, and this guy is serving the ball as hard as me, and this is his first day of learning how to serve. I was like, that's just not fair. And but I was happy as a coach. I was like, God, I wish I had what he had. And then he spent the first year learning how to play. Like, he learned most of the shots, and then in his second year, I partnered him up with the best player on the team, and then they went to state. And like that, I was like, wow. Like, and he and his partner was really good too. And then he graduated, and then the following year his partner went to state in singles. And like that dude was a sick athlete too. But this guy then ended up going and pitching 4 years of college baseball, and he was just so athletic. It didn't matter what he did; he could do everything. If he played football, he would have been the quarterback because he would have thrown like 70 yards right on the money every time. He was that guy, and I don't have that, but some kids do. But that was just years and years. Like, I'm not really athletic, but I'm moderately athletic. That's how I describe myself. And one guy who played for me, he was my captain, and he worked so hard. He was like me, but he wasn't even moderately athletic. He was mildly athletic. And so, that's what he referred to himself like that. He was like, well, I'm only mildly athletic. He was like, the other kids come out and like they're almost as good as me and they never play. And he's like, I play fucking hours every week, you know? But my dad was moderately athletic too. It was cute watching him play. Like, when he was older and stuff, I would go over and watch. Like, I would meet him and hang out with him and have lunch, and he'd be like, well, I'm playing at, like, I'm done at 12:30, and I'm like, so what time do you start? And he's like, 11:15. I'd be like, oh yeah. And I would show up and watch him play, and he would, like, when I would talk to the guys that he played with after, you know, he'd be like, you know, I want you to meet the guys, and you know, and he'd be like, I want you to meet my son, you know, and he's like, this is my son, and they're like, oh, you're Ken, and they'd like proceed to tell me about my life, and I'd be like, yeah, and they would always be like, gosh, your dad's a wizard on the tennis court. And he was like, they're like, I don't know, like, I can count on one hand the number of times that I've ever won. And I'm like, I'm laughing inside because I'm like, dude, you're like 25 years younger. Like, he's 75 years old and he's just fucking laying you out. Like, he was an old man and he would just fucking embarrass them. Like, and he was nice. Like, and every time they hit a good shot, he'd be like, great shot. He would clap his racket and stuff. But, yeah. He beat the shit out of people. It was really funny.
And you call that moderately athletic?
He wasn't really athletic. He just he was a technician with the racket. Like, he didn't, like, he played with this giant racket with an enlarged head, so it had a larger string bed, and his racket strings were really loose. And so he didn't swing very hard. Like, he would just, like, whereas, like, I have this swing motion and I have to hit through the ball. Like, like, he got old and he didn't swing like that anymore. So he just hit the ball much softer. But he could hit, like, he could hit a spot. Like, when I was younger, I'd be like, well, hit this. And I'd put, like, a coin out. And, like, if I put the coin right here, first ball, he would, second ball, third ball, make the coin jump up, and he'd hit it. And I'd be like, damn. Like, he was like a marksman with a tennis racket.